Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
Drop it.
Welcome back to another edition of the Ball Don't Lie podcast. We are in week 13 already. This season is moving along really fast. I'm Ted. He's Small. We got Shipley producing for us in the background. Thanks again to Chris for that. We got hot last week.
Hey, 5-0.
5-0 circa.
Yeah.
Did it. We got there. We've kind of been chipping away too. We're getting we're a couple more of those away from starting to flirt with getting into that contention again. So we'll see. We'll run out of weeks, but
we are. We definitely 5-0 in the
Just
next
need to get
2 to 3 weeks.
yeah, we can do it. Why not? To recap last. Hey, also, Ted's off the schneid in college football. Got my first win last week. USC -4.5. They won by I think 6 over UCLA. So the streak's over. 1-11. Just recap real quick. Last week I had you going 3-2 in NFL. You did lose your Maryland play. That ended up being they're bad. Man, they were bad.
Bad.
I went 4-1. I did miss the Cardinals game. Seattle kind of just manhandled them a little bit. And again, I got a W there, but again, we do not hide from our records. I put you at 7-5 in college football. Me 1-11 in college football. I got you at 28-38, and you've actually been chipping away there too.
Yeah.
You just got a bad start, but you've got a lot of winning weeks here in the last 5 or 6.
Yeah.
4-1 for me gets me to 35-31 in the year in NFL, and we're at 28-32 in circa. So chunking along there.
Yep.
Just
getting there.
Weeks. I did hit 2 massive. So I did do round robins with my plays and our circa plays.
Yeah, you get some
and the bookie took a beating this week.
So it's a good feeling.
I sent you 2 of the numbers on just 2 of them.
Yeah, they were healthy.
Some of those teasers got home. The Cardinals, or not the Cardinals, the Chargers on Monday night too. So it actually got better. So it was a healthy week. It's always good to take rookies' money. But we're here. It's week 13. I'm excited. I liked way too many games this week. I actually cut it down to 6, and I could have had 8 easily, maybe even 9 after talking to you a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're seeing the board, it's a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing too. We thought last week was going to be kind of one of the harder weeks, and ended up being good to us. So
yeah, it did. We separated it pretty well last week.
I thought so too. But just before we get started here too, as you can see, I'm wearing my Berkwood Farms Meat Co. hat here. We've been talking with Jake Moores from Berkwood, and we're kind of excited to start the beginning of a nice little romance and bromance and partnership here. So as you can see on the screen here a little bit too, we're going to be giving away. So tweet at us, get us on the socials. The following Tuesday after the show, just get us at our socials. Moneyline dogs. I got to win outright. Got to be at least a 5-point dog to qualify to register in this. And then, this is super fluid. So I talked to Jake too. I said, let's just get something started. We'll see how it goes. And this could be a completely different play by next week. If there's not a winner, maybe we roll it over. There's been lots of ideas floating around, but we do want to get this started this week. And we're super excited to work with Jake and all those guys at Birkwood Farms. They're awesome people. Their storefront is right across the shop from Smollett High Five.
Yep.
So you can kill two birds with one stone there. If you want to stop and get some good bacon and some dogs for the weekend and get some card breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Right across the road from each other. So
literally, we are.
So thanks again to Jake there too, and we'll keep that going. But so just tag us, follow, go check out Birkwood Farms there. They're located in Ankeny. They're right across the street from High Five Comics and Cards. But let's get it rolling here, baby. Yeah. Actually, if we want to do that too, why don't you think about that a little bit too, and we'll give you our big dog money line plays of the week too. And I definitely have a favorite on that. So. I'll start us off.
Okay.
I am going to take the bait, what everybody's been talking about, with Green Bay on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
If you listen to any sports talk radio, you've heard the stats, you've seen the numbers of Tua playing below, I think it's like 42 degrees even. Not that. It's not good.
Nope.
Miami's been playing way better lately. They haven't played. I mean, the Rams wins maybe not looking quite as good as it did at the time right now.
Sure.
And then they beat up on some bad teams.
Yeah.
But they've been playing way better, and they're right in the mix.
Yep.
They're a win this week and a Broncos loss, and you're game out. So you're right in the mix and where you need to be. I'm taking the bait though. I just think Green Bay's built to go win this game. They run the ball more with Jacobs. It's -3. It's on Thanksgiving at home. And look, the cool thing is anytime you get those South Florida teams going up in late November, December up here, the records they speak for themselves. It goes in Miami's favor in September with the Heat, and it goes against them in November, December. So I am going to take Green Bay and the 3 points here.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I get why. It's just one of those that it just feels too good.
It really does. And this is kind of a put up or shut up game. Like Green Bay's been winning, playing a little ugly. If you want to be this dark horse like people are talking about, this is a game you need to go out and step on their throats.
Yeah, I feel like they've just been fairly light. I mean, they dodged a bullet last week with the injury to Purdy, and obviously, and I don't even think they look good, to be honest, in that game.
Dodged a bullet against Chicago.
Yeah. So yeah, right. I mean, we'll see what happens. It's a big game for both teams actually. So
it's a really big game for both teams.
It is. Cool. I'm actually just going over the circle line. Some of these lines have changed
a lot.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I left one out today that I don't even know if I text you, but maybe I don't remember. I barely remember what I did. I barely remember what I did 20 minutes ago. Jaguars +4. I'm going to start off there.
You're getting 4.5 actually on circle.
Yeah, 4.5. Look, shame on us for not really fading the Texans. We've been kind of an advocate here of.
I've been fading the Texans.
Yeah, like this team. We have said it all year. They just don't look the part. They're winning games kind of in spite. And it came to fruition last week. Look, Titans bit them. Laying a number here in the division. I get it. Jags are terrible, but
Vegas is telling you something here with how bad they played last week, the Jags, and our buddy Ambrose convinced me to take the Titans kick, and I spread a little money line on them too before, like 5 minutes before their kick with the Texans. I'm like, you have to tell me I'm anti-Texans.
Yeah, right.
But the Jags they've been getting mashed, and this line's under a touchdown. That tells you what Vegas actually thinks about the Texans here right now.
Yeah.
And it's not very much.
No. I'll take Jacksonville. Hey, people forget. Jacksonville had this team on the ropes. In fact, they gagged it earlier in the season. I had the Jag. I think we might even use them in the circuit pick actually that week. I'm pretty sure we did. And that was in the middle of when no one wanted Jacksonville at all. And I'm like, dude, this line, it was like 6 then.
Yeah,
even thinking about it, it should. Yeah, the 4.5.
Texans under 10 wins is looking better and better.
Oh, it feels like this is a slip up here. I said last week too. I was like, look, the card last week it's gonna get ugly. It shaped up to be ugly. It was an ugly week. This week feels the same, man. Just be careful out there. This has all the feels that Jags just win because they aren't supposed to.
Well, this leads me, and I will be cheering for you there. I actually would shock me zero if they win outright.
Yeah,
but it's not quite 5 points, so I can't beat your money line dog.
It's true. Yeah,
but I'll give you mine, and who's not going to like this is Drew Shipley. I said it was time to start fading the Commanders, and it's been right. They were awful last week. I don't think Jaden Daniels is right. They're going to be down potentially both of their running backs right now, which have been kind of his safeguards to be able to take the ball to do that. Jeremy Nichols is not the same guy as even Eckler, and certainly not Brian Robinson Jr. Not getting Scary Terry the ball. I mean, McLaurin had just if you have him in fantasy, he had that long freak fluke touchdown, or he's had like 3 catches the last 2 weeks. You take that away for like 30 yards.
Yeah.
Look, teams are figuring him out a little bit. And Lane Kiffin, second half of the year, go back and look. It was atrocious in Arizona with the Cardinals. It was atrocious with Texas Tech. It's just what it is. He puts his stuff out there, and he's a great first half coach this season. The record is there. I mean, the data is all there. Mm-hmm. The Titans are playing pretty well, and Will Levis, sneaky, has actually been playing some. He still makes some. What the hell are you doing? Moments. You're going to get 2 to 4 of those a game.
Anthony Richardson.
He's not as bad as him on that. I don't think. Actually, I think he's lower on that. The Colts have a way better roster.
Well, that's a fact. Yeah.
But the Titans are playing kind of sneaky good football, and I think they're actually going to win this game outright again.
Okay.
The new coaching staff are kind of finding their wheels and stuff right now a little bit too, settling in. I think Levis sitting down for a while, with the injury, one of those get 110% healthy before you play again type deals.
Yeah.
I think the Titans are super live here, but I love them getting 6 points. But I'll take them as my money line dog though.
Okay. Yeah. I got my money line dog is going to be for the college side, but this will be play number 1 for us. I do. I agree with you. I like this. On top of it, if you throw out the Commanders Hail Mary against the Bears, man, if they don't pull that miracle off, boy, we're talking about a team that's like, if they don't get that, we're talking about them missing the playoffs right now.
We are talking about them missing the playoffs.
Yeah,
they are. I mean, they lose this weekend. They'd be 6-5 or 6-6 if they don't get that Hail Mary. Yeah. It's a slide right now.
It is. And I think too, like, we both listened to some stuff, and I would bet money that somehow, some way, the X's and O's, the deep dive into it, they're probably playing Daniels different than what they did. There's definitely been something switched up, right?
He's ripped. I mean, when he took that shot and he came back and played the next week, it probably shouldn't have played. They actually had to run him a little bit. We talked about my 550 yards rushing in the season. He almost had that 6 weeks ago. He's had like 50 yards rushing the last 5 weeks because they have not been running him because he had like over 40 yards last week. They haven't been running him because he's been banged up.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, he was throwing so much off his back foot and just wasn't getting the ball to his check down guy who was in the dirt on stuff too. I don't think he's healthy at all. I mean, look at where it's at too. He was minus 550 a month ago to win the Rookie of the Year. And right now, and Bo Nix was like plus 600. Bo Nix is plus 125 today when I looked, and he was minus 110. Daniels was. Yeah. That is a coin flip right now, and they're trending 2 different directions on where that's going.
Yeah,
Denver keeps winning, and Nix keeps playing the way he is, and Daniels just keeps flatlining like he is. Yeah. Nix has got to win that award.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
And to your point too, like we've talked about, this will lead me into my next play, but these bad teams. It always happens every year in the NFL. They play well late at some point in the season. When everyone writes them off, it's the time you want to back them. And look,
especially when you have new coaches that are bad, because they're not, the wheels aren't off. Everybody's not looking for new jobs that are coordinator stuff. These guys were brought in. This is a no pressure situation for like the Titans as a franchise. They're still building something here. So everything is building to be on that team next year. It's not like, possibly Vegas, Dallas to an extent, with that of just, hey, when position coaches are looking and calling their buddies and spending most of their time making sure they have a job in 4 months instead of really focusing on what's going on because everybody knows, it's a different beast that way.
Sure.
I'm with you. I love those teams that start playing better late, especially with new coaching staff, or when you know the staff's going to be back the next year.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Well, I'm going to keep riding them. They've been nice, and we played them last week. They were ugly as shit. Carolina Panthers at home against Tampa. I don't know. I was shocked to see the line. Weird last week, Tampa was laying like the same number at the Giants. At this point, I definitely think it's fair to say that Carolina is better than the Giants based upon the turmoil up there. It's another division home dog. I'm a sucker for this angle, but it goes back to this is a bad football team that just happened to be playing well. Took Kansas City down the wire. We'll see. It does the hesitancy. The counter to this is that Tampa still has a lot to play for as well.
Oh, a lot to play. So Tampa's just a just miss for me. Like they were on my almost plays, and it's what you said. Washington going like this, and Tampa has a way in. I mean, they have a shot at the division still too. Atlanta's not been playing very good. They do. 9 wins might take that division. Tampa's a just miss for me, so this will miss our circle plays. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Carolina hasn't playing.
I'm just gonna ride Carolina until they just decide not to show up.
Dude, they actually controlled most of the game with Kansas City.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe there's something systematically they've switched too. I mean, Young looks better than what he ever has. So I guess you couldn't look any worse. So
it's also true. Look, I'm going to go with the team that I get it. There's a lot of recency bias in this line, I think, because we watched Baltimore just control the second half against the Chargers. Chargers actually had a dirty backdoor to cover the teasers. The Eagles are playing, besides maybe Detroit, who's playing better football than the Philadelphia Eagles right now? Losing Brandon Graham's a big deal. He was the man that entire game and he announced as his last game, so he gets to retire on that note, which is pretty sad because he's playing really good football at 36 or 7 years old.
Right.
But Philly has turned into we're going to run the damn ball down your throat. They have a bunch of pass rushers that just keep throwing at you and throwing at you. They have a guy that can actually play quarterback spy on Lamar in Cooper that's actually, athletics maybe keep him in front of him. I just don't know. Baltimore is so bad on the back end, and they're going to have to try to stop the run that I think Hurts might have A.J. Brown, and I don't know if Smith will be back this week or not. He didn't play last week. But A.J. Brown, those guys are going to have a heyday back there because they're going to have to stop the box because Philly wants to run it down your throat. Yeah. And the Ravens they're 32 out of 32 in pass defense this year. They're horrible. They're so bad. I just don't know if they can lean on it. If Philly can get to them and keep Lamar corralled, there's only so much you can do here. And I think we're getting the wrong team favored by 3 here. I know Philly's on the road, but they're playing awesome football, and I actually love Philly getting points.
Okay. Yeah, I think this has a good chance to make our card, to be honest. So I totally get it. I don't know why I just kind of overlooked this game. To be honest, I typically, if it's a bigger game, I just kind of always stay away anyway. But
right now, if they're not playing the Lions, that's the only team I think should be favored against the Eagles at all.
Yeah, I think to your point, I think you're right. I think there's a little bit, they're getting a little love off the Monday night.
100%. It was a recency bias line because there was all these question marks 10 days ago about the Ravens, and now they're back. They were one loss away from the Chargers to being 7-5. They're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't hate that at all, actually. All right, well, I got a theme going here, the ugly dog, so I got another one. Jets +2 at home against Seattle. This just stood out for me. I just can't believe Seattle's favored on the road, point blank. I was just shocked. I looked at this, I'm like, I don't even care. Like, they were a pick'em or even a small dog last week to Arizona. They win the game. They do not look good in doing so. And now all of a sudden they're favored going across country. I do not like that.
Geno's turned the ball over.
Oh, he's playing terrible.
He's playing really bad football, actually. They're getting some wins, so it's getting overlooked. But I went through his numbers and like he's just been his 3 years from Seattle it's just this.
Yeah.
On the chart. I think he has like 12 picks already.
Yeah, he's no good.
Turnover. It's a bunch of turnovers.
So I don't know. Like at some point, we'll see, right? What I think their Jets are off the bye.
They are.
Yeah,
they are. That's why after I talked to you today, the Jets actually made my card too. So this will be play too. I overlooked this game for some reason. Yeah. I'm just like, listen. I mean, look, the Jets are what they are, but coming off a bye on this, and look, if the Jets come out and lay an egg in Seattle's last one, I don't think Rodgers will be their quarterback the following week. I think they'll move on. There's
I agree with that.
Discussions of it anyway, but
yeah, this is the moment, right? It's shut up or we quit.
Yeah, or they absolutely quit, and then there's just no reason for. I don't even know. It's you stay away or.
Well, Rodgers has gotten everyone fired by himself.
It's coming. You lose this game, it might be the next day.
Yeah, right.
But no, I'm with you. Getting points to the Jets here feels like we're getting free money.
Okay.
So that'll be play 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a team I know you're not as high on because they are so bad defensively. But the Steelers showed. I know there was snow, and everybody wants to talk about it. The Steelers showed their ass that first half before the snow came against Cleveland. They're not a good team offensively. They're not. They can slow you down and they can get because their pass rush is really good. But when you get a guy that can deal like Burrow, he's going to take hits to stay there and deliver it. This is a team that still has a little bit of hope. They can't afford to lose. They're desperate. And they've lost some just really close games in shootouts. If Cincy can make this game that way, the Steelers cannot score with Cincy. They have to make this game. They have to keep it down. And the way that offense has been cooking with both receivers healthy now, I don't know if you can hold Burrow to under 25 points. And I'm not sure Pittsburgh can score 25 points.
Yeah.
So I love Cincy. -3.
I think you might be on the right side of this too. Yeah. I won't look to play Pittsburgh here. I mean, it is. I mean, we've kind of been saying, I guess, for a while. It's kind of like Cincy season on the line. I feel like we've been saying it for the past month. But
and they even when they did miss or those just misses on that, they played good football. Their schedule it's brutal. They stubbed their toe in shitty games they shouldn't have lost the first 6 weeks, and it's kicking them in the ass now. Just win those games like New England week 1. Win those layup games you had, and you're right where you need to be. You're hanging around. You're getting the wild card. But they didn't do that. So now these games that if they just would have been losing these games, like their shootouts with the Chargers and stuff like that, you're like, hey, they're fine. They'll be where they need to be, but they're not because they're shitty start.
Yeah.
They're terrible in September every year.
Yeah. I don't hate this play. Yeah, I won't be back in Pittsburgh. So I don't hate that play at all.
Okay.
I will go with it's the Saints plus. Well, I think it's 2.5 in Circa, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm going to go Saints plus 2.5. A game that's like off the radar. No one's really going to watch it. Yeah. I kind of give them a little credit here. So Cleveland comes to town, a couple weeks ago. And in a spot where like now, Cleveland answers back and beats Pittsburgh in that snowy game. And so maybe the Saints are kind of like, all right, we kind of feel a little refreshed here. The season maybe not is over. Carr's back for what that's worth. I mean, they've won 2 in a row. They did beat the Falcons the previous week.
Dennis Allen's a bum, dude.
Yeah.
I've said that he's a bum.
Yeah.
You put a lot of it on Carr. Carr's no good either. Like he's not a franchise guy. He's a guy you give 1-year deal to.
Right.
But Dennis Allen's a bum.
Yeah. And look, the Rams team, man, I think you and I both kind of like the team as a whole, but there's just something.
Yeah, I have in the playoffs preseason. There's just something's off.
So,
they keep having new lineups on offensive line now too.
Yeah, it feels like a weird.
It's still not healthy. Cup's still not healthy.
Weird spot too. Like traveling here. I don't know. It just feels like this is a game the Saints are just going to win, quite frankly.
I don't hate – I'm probably staying away, but just because I've been on the wrong side of the Rams too much against their floor lately that I'm just going to not play for me right now, but I'll be cheering for it now.
Okay.
I got one you probably won't like. Just because I know how you feel about their quarterback. But the roster's pretty good. The roster's pretty damn good. And I'm going to take the Colts minus 2.5 at New England.
Yeah.
Man, New England doesn't have the dudes. Drake May is a good – I think we both like Drake May. I love Drake May.
Yeah.
He was my favorite guy going in the draft. I said that multiple times. I did not want him to go to New England just because I didn't know if he have a chance to develop because they'd have nobody on the outside to help him out. Look, Colts are desperate. I made some more preseason bets for them to go run down the division. I just like their roster. The reason they don't cover this game is the reason that maybe they do. Is Richardson is like Jameis Winston on steroids of giveth and taketh. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
He's not. I mean, you're not going to get 50% completions out of him. It's not going to happen. It's just is he going to hit that big? But he has a huge arm, so if you put everybody in the box on him because he can run, the dude's got a hose.
Oh, he does. Yeah, he can throw it a country mile. There's no doubt about it.
So, can you get those 2-3 big explosive plays a game? I mean, look, they beat. They're not that far off just beating the Jets, and he played really well in that second half. So if you can get just that version of him, I just think that their roster is so much better than New England's that they should win this game.
Yeah,
so I think 2.5 is a good line for that. I'm taking the Colts.
I did. I initially did like the Patriots. I kind of crossed them off here. I mean, I would still lean New England, but it's just more of the fact that I was just a little shocked. I'm like, it's kind of with Seattle. I'm like, I really Colts on the road favorite. Like this team's, I don't know. I have the same feeling as you do with the Bucs and Panthers. So we'll make sure those don't make the circuit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just off on that. I just got one more here, and it's the Monday night, and it's against your team, but the Browns. I'm just going to take the Browns. 5.5 just feels like a lot, and Denver is playing well, and there's no doubt about it.
This is where it comes, though.
However, like the Denver's they've beat a lot of bad teams. The Falcons win was really nice a couple weeks ago, so that one for sure looks really good.
Well, they should be, and they should have beat Kansas City. I mean,
they played really well at Kansas City. The Cleveland just showing up in that game against Pittsburgh just kind of tells me a lot in terms of where that team is, and those are teams like
they're playing hard.
Yeah, it's those ugly games you look for, man, to try and decide whether or not you're going to back a team. And I feel it's Monday Night Football. It just feels like a really low-scoring affair in general. And it just, I don't know, it feels like just a 3-point Denver type of win at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't shock me. I won't be playing Denver at 5.5 on that. I might sneak him into a teaser, which is just a death line for that.
Yeah.
But it'd be, if you made me bet the game, I would probably be Cleveland or nothing. So
yeah,
that can be. I almost put the Cardinals on the line again just because the Vikings keep living on.
What's your thoughts? That one feels like it's telling me to take I feel like it's telling you to take Minnesota though.
It's the same type of deal. Yeah, it's with the Bears. That same line at 3.5. And do we think? I think Arizona's better than the Bears, but I don't know. It's that I'll be playing Arizona. They're going to be a just miss on the card for me.
Okay.
They were a just miss for me, and so was Tampa. But I had 6 other plays. And I had 6 plays too.
Yeah.
Before we recap that and get into our college plays, and we can talk about a little bit what's coming up there too. Why don't we have Ship throw it over to us? Why don't we hear a word from our sponsors quick?
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, Owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com. When energy meets precision, anything is possible.
I'm Carter Hawley, the Chief Energy Officer of the Iowa State Cyclones. I'm full of energy on and off the court, but nothing gives me more energy than helping families find their dream home. And that's where Green Beret Realty comes in. They're more than just realtors. They're a team dedicated to getting things right for you and your family, just like we get it right on the court. Sometimes it takes a team to get the call right. And when you're buying a home, you want a team that makes all the right calls. That is Green Beret Realty. And here's the best part. When you buy or sell a home through Dan at Green Beret Realty and mention this ad, he'll make a donation to the We Will Collective, helping student athletes like me thrive on and off the court.
Green Beret Realty, because getting the call right means everything.
Welcome back to the Ball Don't Lie podcast. We are in week 13 already. I'm Ted. He's Small. We got Chip producing in the background. Are there any games you want to play there on the NFL side?
No, that's all I got for the NFL.
I'm tempted to play the Bills at -7. And we'll see what the Brock Purdy news is, but Brandon Allen's no good. He cannot distribute the ball at the level you need to in a Shanahan offense.
If Purdy's out, there's a high. This is high likely we might play the Bills.
We'll have to, because that line will go to 10.
Yeah,
or more.
Right.
So if it's the same reason we took the Packers last week after that news came out that we got them at 2. It was still, I kicked it like 5.5 points, and we were stealing 3.5 points there.
Right.
Even so, the Niners are just, man, they're older and they're just beat up. They're really, really beat up. Those guys can still play when all healthy, but like Trent Williams is hurt. Purdy's got some really screwy going on with his shoulder that's not good, honestly. Hopefully it's just something that I get figured out, but it makes me worry for me, especially kind of going into a potential contract offseason. But Bills are a must-watch on there for me. Yep. And then there was one more game I brought up that I'm like, we might have to take a little look at too. And that was, it wasn't talked about. I feel like the Chargers are getting some extra hate with the Falcons.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually.
Look, Denver ran through Atlanta. Like, I can't unsee what I saw there.
Yeah.
It was manhandled and done that. And the Chargers are built better up front on both sides of the ball than Denver is. We're going to find out here again. But that's a look at it line, too. The more I keep looking at that game, I'm just like, I mean, I do like Atlanta, but I just feel like they kind of flatlined a little bit for me.
Yeah.
I think that the Ravens and the Chargers, I think both of those lines are a little recency bias on what happened in the second half of the Monday night game.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
Games to look at for us, just to keep a mental notes to talk about too.
I don't hate that.
Get there. But we'll move on here to our college weekend. And before we get into our picks here, I have tickets. If you need tickets, contact me. I'm probably going to have to unload mine. I had some stuff come up with the family on some stuff, and Thanksgiving is getting wrapped around that now. So we'll be watching from the basement instead. Good luck to everybody that goes there. I think it's going to be cold, but I hope it's loud and awesome. It's a huge game, man. Huge game in Ames.
I'll be there.
Yeah, you're going to be there. I'm super nervous about it. Don't feel good about it, for being completely honest. It's a rivalry game, so I don't care how every team's been playing. Kansas State wants to wreck our season very, very, very badly. So we'll see. And I think as long as we win, there's like a lot of things have to happen from what I understand, for BYU to be able to get in over us. If Arizona State wins, BYU wins, and we win, I think a lot has to happen of like other random games too.
It is.
For them to get in. So it's like a 97% or higher chance winning you're in type deal. Like
it is. Right. Yep.
It's a good place to be in. Look, that's all he wanted. We thought there was a chance he had to maybe stub your toe once. We got lucky as shit last week to have all that land in your lap the way it did. It was the first weekend I made money on a Saturday, I think, because I kind of just bet with the heart and all the teams that wanted to lose, and they did outright. So it was great. On the flip side there, you got Nebraska got home last week, so now they are bowl eligible. I was really hoping that was going to be the case for this weekend. I kind of like Nebby at getting 5.5. I would have liked that more if they needed to win, just because.
Right.
But, I think there's kind of a sigh there.
Yeah.
A little bit. I get it's a rivalry game, but we'll see. I do lean 5.5 Nebraska.
I do too. Actually, I'd be Nebraska or nothing there for sure.
But my play is going to be a team that is riding that thing too. They need one more win to get bowl eligible. They about did it against Oregon and haven't won since, and it's Wisconsin. They opened up as like 3-point favorites against Minnesota at home. It's down to 1 point now. It's going the wrong direction on that, which typically you try to stay away from. But they're 5-6. Minnesota's already bowl eligible at 6-5. It's at home. You got to go win this football game.
Yeah,
you have to go win this football game. You probably won't get fired yet. Oh, what's his nuts from Cincinnati they brought in? Fickle. You probably not get fired yet. But boy, you're starting year 3 on the hottest of hottest seats. You don't get as much time anymore, especially at these programs like this with the transfer portal and NIL the way it is. No. You can rebuild quicker than this, especially with some teams. They've lost some games they should not have lost this year. No. You got to win. So I'm going to take Wisconsin -1.
Okay. I don't hate it. This is low-key a rivalry game too. So
yeah. Low-key. I think it's a big rivalry game.
Yeah, I think
hear Andrew Downs talk about that a lot because being from Wisconsin, I don't think those teams like each other at all.
They don't. Yeah, it's a rivalry game that just doesn't get talked about, I should say, in the national media as much.
You're probably right about that.
All right, this will be my Berkwood Farms dog of the week here.
Ooh.
I'm taking Arizona +9 against Arizona State.
This was a just miss for me as my play, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Arizona +9. I know, not the winning outright part. This is just a rivalry game. I thought 9 was a shit ton of points.
Yeah. These talk about a rivalry that never gets talked about in the national media ever. These two schools hate each other.
Absolutely hate each other.
They hate each other bad. And
this is like having a 9-point spread in the Iowa State game.
Yeah.
Like he's like, that's too many. You're always taking the other side down. Like, that's too many, no matter what's going on.
Look, Arizona's been – their season hasn't been anywhere near what people had hoped. They were always kind of this sleeper prediction in the Big 12 this year, and it just didn't work out.
And Arizona State was supposed to finish dead last.
Yeah, and here we are. Arizona would love nothing more than to play
their best season since Jake Plummer in the 90s.
Yeah. They want this one. You just throw the records out the window. Arizona is putting their best foot forward here. They want to ruin the season. +9 money line.
I have them in a teaser already, in a 6-point teaser with Nebraska. I got Nebraska at 11.5 and Arizona at 15. That's my favorite college teaser of the week.
The other one that just missed for me that fits this narrative too is USC getting 7.5 against Notre Dame.
So I lean that way as well. I did even pick that one thing too. Until I do like Joe Klatt when he comes on. Yeah. He goes on Coward show. When he's on Coward, it's awful, but when I'm in the car, that time slot is what it is. And he just talked because Coward, his big play was USC 7.5. And Klatt came in and he's like, oh, they have no chance to win. It's going to get ugly. And like, why? And he's like, well, so the outside goes, yeah, the outside's the outside. He goes, but this is about the big uglies, and there is nothing. He basically just said there's nothing up front on the offensive or defense side of the ball that USC is going to be able to do at all. So I was like, dude, he made me pause a little bit.
Yeah, but
I was ready to actually hammer this game, USC. He made me just go. I was like,
in a way, though, that makes me feel like USC's a little more sneaky because whenever I hear someone like that's in that favorite role and they say something like that, and it just is like cringeworthy because it's like, dude, books don't just make these lines for no. They don't just grab them out of air.
I agree with you. I saw the line and my brain immediately went hammer USC.
Yeah. I I don't know.
I did put a $50 future on Notre Dame 2 weeks ago, though. So
you did.
Just
yeah,
win the
I
game.
have.
Just win the game.
I'm sweating. I have some really good playoff ones.
You have some really good. You don't even talk about it yet. We'll get there when it's time for you to start hedging.
Yeah. It'll be. I just need anyone but Oregon, Ohio State, and actually Bama's out now. I never bet them either because I never like Bama. So, but Oregon, Ohio State, just
people trying to make a case for Bama still is just the most laughable thing in the world to me. It's absolutely crazy. It's like they're out.
Done.
You're out. You got manhandled again too. This wasn't even a close. You're done. Get out.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this shakes out.
Well, did you there is a chance that the Big 12 doesn't get in the dance.
Well, don't they take the conference champ anyway?
They take the 5 highest rated conference champs. Tulane is sitting at number 17 right now. Tulane could be the 5th conference in with Boise, and they could leave. They're not, I mean, a 3 lost. So, like, if a Colorado, or does Arizona State have 3 losses or just 2?
2.
Just 2. So, if it's a Colorado that wins the whole thing now, they get in somehow and do that, a 3-loss Big 12 team, or if, Iowa State loses, BYU loses, Arizona State loses, everybody loses again, you might have for sure a 3-loss team.
Oh yeah,
then there's chaos that could actually happen this week.
Yeah, there's still so much up for grabs.
If a 3-loss team wins the Big 12 conference title, I think there's a legit chance Tulane sneaks in.
I mean,
which is nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I still think the SEC's not done beating each other up. I still think there's going to be more teams.
Yeah, but there's if somebody's going out of there at the min, somebody's replacing from that conference, or Sankey will blow the whole thing up this year.
I don't know. They don't have Mississippi stepping on their. You know what? That hurt that SEC conference bad too.
I agree with you, man. The conference is getting way too much love though. Is the ACC? It's ridiculous. SMU's beat nobody. Absolutely nobody.
No. Well,
they have a chance to get their wins and stuff too, but they're trying to sneak 3 teams in from the ACC. Get real.
But that's what that's bigger picture. So we could talk about this forever, but that is what the bigger issue will be going forward. These bigger alignments of conferences is that based upon certain schedules now, you obviously are not going to play everybody, and you can be on the right side of the schedule for the year, a la SMU. And then what do you have? Like, you aren't going to tell them no.
This is why they're going to go to 14 team probably next year already. We're going to have 1 year of 12, and they're going to make the winner because the 5 seed's almost a place to be right now, because you can play the Big 12 winner or a Tulane and then at Boise, and now you're in the Final Four dance.
Yeah,
that's right. It. The 5 seed's a place to be. You're better off being there than the 1.
Where the committee has screwed up in terms of their stuff is they need to just go give these Tulanes and the Boise's, go give them the high seeds. Let the big boys come at them and go thump them. Who cares? But because they're setting it up for failure for the Final Four.
No, yes, because you're going to get some a Notre Dame or somebody that's maybe not a top 4 team. They're going the 5 seed. Whoever ends up with the 5 seed,
right?
Ohio State right now. But if they go and lose to Oregon again, they're not going to be the 5.
No.
Like, if Oregon loses the Big 10 championship game, so what? They're the 5 seed. That's the best spot to be.
Right. Yeah. So who cares? Like, go put Boise.
So they said that's why they're going to go to a 14th team next year already. You win the SEC, you win the Big 10, you're getting the 2 buys.
Yeah.
And then they'll reseed when it gets to 12 the next week.
Yeah. We aren't done yet. It's going to be crazy. I mean,
it'll be fun.
Yeah, it is.
It'll be fun to see what happens.
I really want Indiana to make it, though.
I do too. I think they're in a good spot right now.
I really want them to
take care of business, but I think they're in a good spot that they're going to hang on. If they would have been the 11 or 11 spot last, it'd been. I think they have a good chance.
Yeah, probably my favorite story. So I just hope for their sake that it's.
I think they're going to get in. I really do.
Yeah,
I think SEC swallowing each other last weekend really helped that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been. But,
yeah.
All right. Well,
cool.
Well, again, it's to kind of bring up here. I want to talk about our Birkwood Farms Moneyline Dog of the Week. Throw us, private messages anywhere on our socials. Come look at this. We already got a bunch of plays in already from people. That's awesome. But yeah, so just do that. Just tweet us. Tweet at us is probably the best way to get it. We'll be on Facebook and that stuff too. If you want to put in the DMs, if you want any of that stuff too, we'll announce winners next Tuesday. I'm gonna assume if more than one of these get home, it'll probably be a throw it in the hat and draw type thing. Again, we'll get more into the details with this as we go on. This happened very quickly, so we want to get it started this week, but we're really excited for our partnership with Three Beards Media and Burkwood Farms. Some really cool stuff talking about the future there too. So thanks again to Jake and those guys at Burkwood Farms. Looking forward to it. And I want to tell you what this isn't just getting the quality of product there is insanity. I've been eating it there for years. We've done different stuff with Jake's late father, Greg, too. We've done a lot of different stuff at our bars, and their stuff is incredible. And it's all these local Iowa farmers too, and it's top-notch stuff. So they're very involved in Bacon Fest as well. But all right, so again, Burkwood Farms, get your Moneyline Dog in the week. Got to be college or NFL football only. I'm going to run through our plays here. That's both for 6 NFL plays this week. I had the Pack -3, Titans +6, Cincy -3, the Colts -2.5, the Jets +2, and the Eagles +3. And for my college play, I had Wisconsin -1. For Smool, I had the Jags +4 in the hook, Titans +6, Carolina +5.5, Jets +2, the Saints +2 in the hook, and the Browns +5.5. And for his college play, Arizona +9. We did agree on the Titans and the Jets for 2 of our circle plays as well. We, as always, will tweet those plays out. Come off a 5-0 week there, so I think the
Eagles. I think the Eagles might make it again.
Evan Soup. I love the Eagles, so if you're ready to put them in, we'll lock them as a third play.
Yeah, I kind of like that one a lot.
Getting points there is great. Evan Subert he played all our plays individually in Circa last week, but it's the first week he didn't do a parlay with them. The first week this season, he didn't do a parlay.
Evan, dude, look, when you do this long enough, man, you cannot. That is how this works.
He bets college football every week, and he only plays our 5 games from Circa plays for Sundays because he just takes himself out of it. He played them all individually, so he still had a winning week, but he didn't parlay them for the first time this season.
No, and now
how it goes, baby.
That's how it goes.
All right, well, we had a good time. Thanks again to Chris for producing for us. As always, I'm Ted. He's Smool. Cash that ticket.